Okay, hey guys and girls, I'm going to take you through the entire sequence, process, same thing, of how to overcome social anxiety in public. So you're going to be surprised how simple and easy this advice that I'm going to be giving. It's nothing fancy, there's nothing that strange or anything too over the top that you need to do. That's the beauty of this. It's very simple, but obviously it takes courage, which I believe all of you have got, and you've got to be willing to get uncomfortable in order to overcome the social anxiety. So the first tip is, before you leave your house, you want to make sure that you get up, you shower, you clean your apartment, and whatever needs to be done, whether it's washing the dishes, whether it's hoovering up, whether it's putting clothes in the wash basket, whether it's cleaning, it doesn't really matter what it is. What matters is that you get it done. And the reason for this is, when you do these little tasks, you feel good after. It makes you feel, it's good for your self-esteem, and it's good for actually calming down the nerves and the stress that social anxiety brings with coming out in public, like the fear of being judged, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed. Most of it is stress related. That's what people are frightened of. They're frightened of the stress that the social anxiety brings up in them when they go out in public. So do all that, put some nice clean clothes on. I think listening to music is really good. I do that. All the things I'm telling you today are what I did to overcome my social anxiety in public. So now, once you've done that, here's the first step to leaving the house. You want to tell yourself, right, this is something I use, that you're only going to go out for a short amount of time for a short walk. And I'll tell you why that's so effective and powerful. Because your mind, your subconscious mind, or your conscious, or whatever we call it, your mind is going to try and stop you from going out in public and facing your social anxiety. And that's what the protective part of the human, mind and the psychology does. It tries to keep you away from any potential threatening situations and fears and phobias. Anything that doesn't feel nice, it tries to steer you away from that, right? So by telling yourself that you're only going out for a short walk, you actually are to begin with, that's going to take the pressure off, because it's only a short walk. And what I would say is, if for people that are really nervous about going out in public, and I know how that feels, I used to be like that, go to a place that's not too busy to begin with. Like where I am now shooting this video, I'm still in public, there's still people about, but it's not the most busiest place. So when you go to a place that is not too busy, it helps you to relax more. It helps you to prepare yourself. It basically helps yourself to prepare yourself for that. The loud noises, the cars, because a lot of the stress is not just the fear of people judging you. That's a big part of it, but it's actually the stress of the sound, especially in a city, buses, cars, motorbikes. It's the busyness that tends to overwhelm people. That is part of the social anxiety, the fear of people judging you, the fear of walking past people, the fear of people looking at you. So by taking the steps that I'm telling you to take, what you're doing is you're breaking down the fear into small manageable steps, and then it's still going to be scary, I'm not going to lie, but it's not going to be as scary. And this is the way that you learn in life, in anything. You don't learn by trying to do everything at once. You're just going to fail like that, and that's going to make you feel bad, and you're probably going to go back to avoiding going out in public. So we're learning to swim. You don't go straight in the deep end usually. You start off in the shallow and you go a bit more deeper until you can handle fully the deep end. And that's the same with social exposure therapy. You just start doing it gradually and gaining some confidence with it, alright? So we'll cut to the next thing, and I'll talk about the next tips which you can do. So like I was saying, guys, once you go for the short walk, right, I would say 5-10 minutes. The next exercise I want you to do, which is really good for psychology, I want you to ask yourself, would you like to stop now and return back home because you've taken some action which is really good, right? Or would you like to go a little bit further and extend the walk, extend the time that you're out in public. And it doesn't matter where you are, like I said, right? We don't have to be exactly precise. If you lived in the countryside, if you lived in a big city, if you lived in a tourist location, if you live in more of a quiet area, if you live on an estate, if you live in a block of it, that doesn't matter. The point is, you actually going out in public and exposing yourself to this fear and getting used to it and controlling it and then eventually overcoming it. So what this does is, by asking yourself the question, would I like to continue or would I like to go home, you're actually taking pressure off yourself, and you're also inspiring yourself. You're inspiring yourself into the future to go a couple of steps further than you've gone. So it's basically like someone saying, you played level 1, 2 and 3 on a video game. It's been quite enjoyable. It's been a little bit challenging. Now do you want to play level 4, 5 and 6, which is going to obviously be harder, but it's going to be exciting. And if you go through the difficult levels, then you're going to get great rewards, and eventually you're going to become a master at what it is that you're trying to achieve. In this case, it's getting over social anxiety in public. So if you do feel really overwhelmed, it's totally fine to go home. You can stop now. It doesn't make you a failure, it makes you a success, because you've still left the house, you've still done all of the other little tasks that I said with regards to cleaning your apartment and getting yourself ready and putting some clothes on, listening to music, having some breakfast, taking care of your responsibilities as an adult or a young adult, in which case wherever you're at this moment in time. So if you go home, we've got something to build on. You can come out another day and go a bit further. But if you want the challenge, and I'm encouraging you guys and girls to take it on, what you can do is, this is what I do now, I will actually start increasing my walking pace, and I'll tell you why. Because it's good exercise, and when you walk faster, and you walk, with confidence, and I'll talk about body language in a second, it builds this momentum, it builds this positive energy, it builds this strength within you, which will eventually overcome the fear of what are people thinking about me in public. Are they judging me? Are they looking at my clothes? Whatever you're worried about, people thinking about you, it will start to calm down, right? And then you can go into an actual, if you want, you can go into a 2-hour walk, 3-hour walk. And I'll be honest with you, what really got me over this is everything I'm giving you in this video, and especially doing the long walks. And then once you do an hour walk, you will come to a place of you'll be more present, you'll have less inner conversation, your inner critic, and you will not be in your head. And that's really the trick of all this, is getting out of your head. And to get out of your head, you've obviously got to get out of bed, get yourself together, leave the house and go for a walk. And that's really, really going to solve it. Now, with regards to the actual talking to people aspect, I'm going to do another video on that. I've done other videos. Maybe there'll be a link up here or below below this video. I'll give you a few tips now. Just start small. Go into a supermarket, buy a drink or a shop, and just have a really small conversation. Just go, "Hi, how was your day?" That's all you got to say. Have a great day, and pay for your items, and then leave. And that's all part of the gradual exposure therapy to getting over this. It's something that you do in stages, and I think a lot of people that have social anxiety in public, I know how they feel. They feel like they've got to do everything in one go, and if they don't do it in one go, they're not a valuable person, and it's just not true. You can learn things in baby steps, and every little step you take, it gives you the confidence to take the biggest steps. So you're not going to get to step 10 and 15 if you don't take step 1 and 2. So I want you to really value yourself and appreciate yourself for every little step that you take, alright? And that's how you do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share, subscribe, and remember, become fearless. Let me know in the box below if you enjoyed this video and watch which tips really helped you, alright?